This is Michael Carson back with another video. I was looking for numbers on the employment rate of native UK and non-native UK people that are employed in the UK. Well, I found, I went down a rabbit hole and I found the Office of National Statistics. And they have a data set called EMP06, Employment by Country of Birth and Nationality. Well, that is awesome. And I was looking forward to looking at the data, and I found another site that actually had the data in a percentage setup that shows here that it's the employment rate of UK born versus EU born versus non-EU born in the UK from 2000 to the fourth quarter of 2024. And as you can see, it's a percentage of how many people, the percentage of the people that are employed. So 100 being the top end, so it's going to be less than 100, and that shows you the employment rate between the three groups. Well, it turns out that the data is kind of bullshit. As I found out when I found the website, when I went to the source link there, and then I downloaded the Excel spreadsheet file. It's got a very nice thing here. It's got some notes, important, when's important note 2, let me move it up to 1. It says important note 1, in March 2020 as a result of the coronavirus, the labor force survey had changed the way it contacted people for initial interviews from face-to-face interviewing to telephone-based. This changed the nature of the mix of people who responded to the survey. This included large decreases in the number of people with non-UK nationalities in the country of birth responding to the survey. As a result, we introduced an adjusted LFS weighting methodology using HM revenue and customs real-time information data. This methodology has been utilized by the LFS since 2021. Okay. As this adjustment was only intended as a temporary measure due to the impact of the pandemic on the survey operations, we removed it from our weighting methodology during our reweighting exercise implemented in December of 2024. Estimates from early 2000s to mid-2022 therefore once again indicate falls in the number of people in the UK with non-UK country of birth and nationalities. We are publishing these estimates to maintain a complete time series based upon a consistent methodology. However, we advise extreme caution when using estimates of labor market status by nationality and country of birth during this period. That first note will continue on. Later estimates may represent more realistic movements following our return to face-to-face interviewing and the introduction of the sample boost in late 2023. However, wider issues relating to falling sample sizes and resulting in volatility persist, such as we continue to advise caution when interpreting changes in levels and rates of estimates of labor market status by country of birth and nationality. Okay, so that's understandable. And note 2 goes on. From December 2024, we have reweighted the labor force survey estimates. The reweighted labor force survey estimates incorporate information on the size and composition of the UK population. based on 2022 mid-year estimates for England, Wales, and Northern Ireland that are projected forward using scaling factors from 2021 based national population projections published in January of 2024. For Scotland, they are projected forward using scaling factors from 2020 based national population projections published in January 2023. It took them a long time to get that done. Given time constraints, we have only been able to reweight the LFS data from January to March 2019, not 2029. That hasn't happened yet. And onwards. Therefore, the reweighting exercise creates a discontinuity between December 2018 to February 2019 and January to March of 2019. And there will be a step change in LFS estimates. However, we have remodeled the seasonal adjusted UK levels of employment, unemployment, and economic inactivity by sex, age, back to June, August 2011 to ensure the headline rates and levels by sex, age, band datasets A02SA and A05SA can be assessed without discontinuity. Important that reweighting increased the levels of all labor market statuses but does not address the issues surrounding increased LFS volatility resulting from smaller achieved sample sizes. An increased amount of volatility will remain until the recent improvements have been implemented fully fed through the survey, so we would advise caution when interpreting the change in headline rates and recommend using them as part of the suite of labor market indicators alongside workforce job, climate count, and pay-as-you-earn real-time information estimates. These are official statistics in development. For further information, please see our impact reweighting on labor force survey key indicators. Now here's the problem, and this happens across the next tabs. You got your introduction, which just basically gives you clickable stuff for the next tabs. The third tab here, we start off, let's go to the very top to see. You got 1997, and as you can see, pretty much every single column is populated, except for the EU2, to the fifth square, doesn't get populated until about September of 2000. But you notice all the things are populated. Everything is populated. Now here's the problem. We get down to 2019, October, December, that's the last time everything's fully populated. And then it just drops off a cliff. Well, you can't use this data when it's dropped off a cliff like that. And if you notice, all the data since then has been reweighted. And you have 14 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. They're all empty after the last little quarter of 2019, and that includes New Zealand, oceanic areas, Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, etc. But then they're going along and they're reweighting all the other years after the end of 2019. They're doing total EU, but the numbers are blank for the rest of the columns, and that's ridiculous. It shouldn't be like that, and it's consistent through the rest of the document. And, you've got little notes at the bottom here, but they don't matter because you have incomplete data. You can't use any of this crap. And then, here, I'll show you. Go to the next one. Country of birth. You've got the percentages here. Everything's put into percentages. And by the way, everything is manually inputted into this spreadsheet. So there's no calculations or anything. And from the end of, actually this one, yeah, from the end of 19, it's got the same 14 columns blank again. And you go to nationality levels, go up to the top, 97. You know, those columns are, that one column is blank until about what, 01, but then it's all populated, and then it goes unpopulated at 2020, and it continues on, and you've got the footnotes here, but none of that matters. The data is not valid when you have empty columns like that. You can't be reweighting stuff because you're too freaking lazy to fill in the numbers. And what they should do is they should just, you know, scrap the data or have, you know, the reweighting. It makes the data useless because it's not as accurate as if they would have done in-person stuff as they had been doing. And then the last tab, which is nationality rates, which is another percentage thing here. Same thing. You go all the way up to 97, every column basically, except for other EU has got one missing dot, but the EU2 is not populated until, you know, that same period in 01 again. But, you know, everything is populated. As you can see as I'm scrolling down, everything is populated. And it should be. But then you got the same problem. End of 19, 14 columns go missing. The data is useless. I mean, if anything needs to be quote-unquote doged, it definitely would be this one. Anyways, I did a little bit more digging here. Okay, give me a second. And see, it says, if you go to the About Us for their site, we are the UK's largest independent producer of official statistics, and its recognized National Statistical Institute. We are responsible for collecting and publishing statistics related to the economy, population, society, and national and regional levels. We also conduct the census in England and Wales every 10 years. Okay, so have they done that? I'm not going to check all their other data when just one thing of data that I was checking on is already borked. It's gone. And then I checked here, did a little search to see what kind of funding they got. They got an annual budget of £206.5 million. That's ridiculous. They've got 3,302 employees, and they're a sub-agency of UK Statistics Authority. So I mean, if they're not doing proper data collection as they were doing, you know, prior to the pandemic, you know, at least at that level, then they need to stop or they need to be cut. I mean, that's 206.5 million pounds that can be freed up for other things. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Well, anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please consider watching another video, and thank you for watching and listening to this whole thing, and have a good day.